Hello everyone, my name is Sumedha. In the previous lecture, we have studied about kinetic energy which comes under mechanical energy. Now today we will study about potential energy. Before proceeding to potential energy, let us discuss conservative forces, non-conservative forces and central forces. Conservative forces. Conservative forces are those for which the work done does not depend on the path, it depends on the final and initial position. Work done does not depend on path. It depends upon final and initial position. To understand conservative forces, let us draw a diagram. See, this is my point 1 and this is my point 2. A particle moves from point 1 to point 2 through this path, say A, and particle move from 2 to 1 through path B. So, the work done in moving particle from 1 to 2 by path A is equals to moving particle from 1 to 2 by path B. That means 1 to 2 अगर A से जाएंगे या 1 to 2 using B जाएंगे तो दोनों का work done क्या रहेगा? Equal. Now consider a situation. A particle is moving from 1 to 2 through A and then 2 to 1 through B. Then the total work done will be given by work done 1 to 2 path A plus work done 2 to 1 path B. So work done is equals to work done from 1 to 2 path A plus, now this is 2 to 1, 2 to 1 path B. The magnitude of this is equal to the magnitude of this, but the magnitude of this will equals to magnitude of this, but the direction will be opposite because 2 to 1 में direction displacement की इस side है. So we can write work done from 2 to 1 as minus of work done from 1 to 2 by path B. So I'll get work done from 1 to 2 minus work done from 1 to 2 using path B. This cancels out because the magnitude is same. So the work done goes to 0. This gives me that work done under conservative forces for a closed path, is 0. So this was about conservative forces. Let's see examples of conservative forces. Examples: gravitational force, gravitational forces, electrostatic forces, etc. Now let's discuss non-conservative forces. In non-conservative forces, work done by the force depends on path, path. And another point is, for non-conservative, work done for a closed path is not equals to 0. Is not equals to 0. Example, frictional force. Frictional force is a non-conservative force because the frictional force work करती है against the motion that depends on the path, and for a closed path work done is not 0. Now let's discuss central forces. Central forces are those forces which act towards or away from a fixed point. From a fixed point. That means the force acts along a fixed point or the line through a fixed point. Example, gravitational force, or we can say all the forces which follows inverse square law, forces which follows inverse square law comes under central forces. That is, F is equals to F of R cap, where F of R gives the magnitude of the central force and R gives the direction, and the direction will be either towards the point or away from the point. अब inverse square law क्या होता है? It states that force is inversely proportional to R square, where R is the distance between the point of force and the object. So जो भी forces ये law obey करती है, that comes under central forces. Now let's discuss potential energy. So from the definition, the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position in a conservative force field. That means in potential energy we talk about position. Now let's discuss potential energy through an example. Consider a ball which is at a surface. The gravitational force acting on a ball is mg. Now we'll take g as constant, and we are considering the case near the surface of earth. Near the surface of earth. So when I'll raise my ball to certain height, it becomes like this height h, where h is much less than radius of earth. So therefore we can take g constant, and we are working against the gravity, so it should be minus g, but we are taking g constant because of this condition, so it will remain only g. So now work done by the external force against the force of gravity is mgh, where h is the height. Equation 1. Now when I release this ball from this position, then it will come downward with increasing velocity, v, So this work done at this position is stored as a potential energy of the ball. So when I release this ball, it will move with velocity v, and kinetic energy is given by half mv square, which will be equal to this much energy. So from here, I'll get velocity is equals to under the root 2gh. That means before touching the surface, the ball has velocity v is equals to under the root 2gh. So this was the velocity. Now let's discuss relation between potential energy and force. Force is given by minus of gradient of potential energy. Minus of gradient of potential energy. That means F is equals to minus of del u by del x I cap plus del u by del y j cap plus del u by del z k cap. If we consider only one dimension, say x, then force is given by minus du upon dx, full derivative of potential energy. Here there is a partial derivative of potential energy with respect to x, y and z, because this is a general case in which my potential energy depend on x, y and z, and here the potential energy is a function of x only. So this is a relation between the force and the potential energy. Now if we take f dx is equals to du and we'll integrate, we'll get integration of du is equals to minus integration of f dx, say from u1 to u2. So I'll get u1, u2, and this is equals to minus of integration of f dx will give me work done. This is equals to work done, and this will give me my delta u, which is equals to minus of work done. That means change in potential energy is equals to negative of the work done. So this was all about potential energy. So now we'll discuss about laws of conservation of energy. We know energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to another form. Here we'll discuss conservation of mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. So my mechanical energy represented by E is equals to sum of kinetic energy plus sum of potential energy. Now, using work energy theorem, we know work done from 1 to 2 is equals to K2 minus K1, or change in kinetic energy. Similarly, work done from 1 to 2 is equals to minus of change in potential energy. equation 1, equation 2. Now equating equation 1 and 2, I'll get delta K is equals to minus of delta U. Delta K plus delta U is equals to 0. Or delta E, which is equals to delta K plus delta U is equals to 0. So this is my conservation law for mechanical energy. In this, there is no external force is acting. No external force. So the system, the conservation of kinetic energy, and so in a system, delta K plus delta U is equals to 0. That means kinetic energy and potential energy remains conserved. Now let's see an application of conservation of mechanical energy. For that, we have drawn a diagram. An object from point C goes to point A and the intermediate point is B. Height h and between A and B is x. So we'll calculate total energy, total mechanical energy for each point. Let's calculate at point A. Point A, potential energy is equals to 0 and kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. As we know, velocity is equals to under the root 2gh. So we'll get kinetic energy is equals to half m 2gh or mgh. Now point B. At point B, potential energy is equals to mgx. mg and x is the height from the surface, and kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. V is equals to under the root of 2g h minus x. So here I'll get kinetic energy is equals to half m 2g h minus x. So this is my kinetic energy for point B. For point C, potential energy is equals to mgh and kinetic energy is equals to 0. So for the whole system, energy of point A should be equal to energy of point B should be equal to energy of point C. This is potential energy of A plus kinetic energy of A, potential energy of B plus kinetic energy of B, potential energy of C plus kinetic energy of C. So now potential energy at A is 0 plus kinetic energy is mgh. Potential energy at B is mgx plus kinetic energy is mgh minus x. mgh minus x is equals to potential energy at C is mgh and kinetic energy is 0. So from here I'll get mgh is equals to mgx plus mgh minus mgx. mgx get cancelled, mgh. So this mgh is equals to mgh is equals to mgh. So the law of conservation follows. So this was the application for law of conservation of mechanical energy. Now we'll discuss about spring mass system. For that, I have a spring and mass m is attached to the spring. Now I'll stretch this spring such that it experiences displacement initially at x1. Now after stretching it moves to x2. So the work done is equals to force into displacement. This is my first expression which I'll use. Now for a spring we have restoring force. That is, force is equals to minus of kx, where k is the spring constant. अब जो F इक्वल्स टू माइनस के एक्स है, ये रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स है स्प्रिंग की. दैट मीन्स अगर मुझे स्प्रिंग को इसी पोजीशन में रखना है, देन आई हैव टू अप्लाई external force whose magnitude is given by F equals to kx. Now I'll substitute the value of F, kx, dx, and the displacement is from x1 to x2, which is equals to work done is k, displacement from 0 to x, because x1 is 0 and x2 is x dx. So the work done is equals to k x from 0 to x square by 2. So my work done is given by half k x square. So this is a work done. We'll write a general expression for work done. Work done is equals to half k. X is x2 square minus x1 square. So this is a general expression for a spring mass system. After studying about energy and work done, let's study about power. Power is rate of doing work, that is work done upon time. Units of power is watt, 1 joule upon 1 second. So how we define 1 watt? When work of 1 joule is done in 1 second is 1 watt. The another units are 1 horsepower, which is equals to 746 watt. So this was about power. If we talk about instantaneous power, what we'll do, we'll again apply limit where delta T approaches to 0. Power is equals to delta W upon delta T. Power is equals to limit delta T approaches to 0, delta W upon delta T, which is equals to d by dt of W. Now work done is force into displacement, d by dt of force into displacement, or we can write force ds upon dt. And what is ds upon dt? Rate of change of displacement, which is equals to velocity. Therefore power is equals to force into velocity. This is a relation between power and velocity. Power is a scalar quantity. Power has no direction. It's a scalar quantity. It has only magnitude. So this was all about power, conservation law, mechanical energy conservation and spring mass system. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep revising.